United's inaugural cup winners. Chris Economides wins the cup for Melbourne Victory. Sydney FC then win the cup. And MacArthur, for the second time, are Australia Cup winners.
Good evening and welcome to AJ Kelly Park in Redcliffe on Tura Kelly Kelly country. In the language of the Ningi, Ningi and Kabi Kabi people, it is the round of 32 of the Australia Cup, the 11th year in its current format. And we have A-League opposition versus MPL opposition. And that means the opportunity for a cup set. Our two sides making their way out onto the field of play. Queensland-based Peninsula Power, currently sitting third in the Queensland NPL. A club who enjoyed plenty of success in the Australia Cup and also in the Queensland NPL in recent years. Well, they take on one of the big guns, the A-League's Western Sydney Wanderers, who enjoyed something of a resurgent season under Alan Stajic last campaign, made the finals, bowing out to Melbourne Victory in the elimination final, but they were the league's top scorers. That has meant a few changes to their squad for this upcoming season. Some familiar faces and some in new jerseys there you can see as well, as the Western Sydney Wanderers begin their campaign for a first ever Australia Cup title against Peninsula Power, looking for their first ever cup set. It's become something of a theme for Queensland clubs over the years. Well, let's have a look at how we are lining up then for the home side. Peninsula Power, long-serving coach Aaron Philp has made two changes to his 4-3-4 formation that drew 1-1 with Wynnum Wolves on the weekend. They haven't had much time in between games. Kane Gibbs and Connor McKenzie both come in to the starting 11 as Matt Mundy and Anshu Ale drop to the bench. New American signing Ethan Kovac continues on the wing, and up front it's the Scotsman Nia Joseph and the Colombian Jason Makwase who will be looking to score the goals to send the Power through. Well, for their A-League opposition, Alan Stajic, whose side, as I mentioned, top scorers in the A-League last season. Well, their two top scorers, Nick Milanovic and Zach Sapsford, have moved on. So has the Swede, Marcus Antonsson. But they do have two new faces who have come in to fill that breach. Alu Kuol and Costa Barbarouses up front in that 4-4-2 formation. Otherwise, the 9 other players all featured in that 2-1 loss to Melbourne Victory in the elimination final 2 months ago. No Brandon Borello, the Socceroo, and no Juan Mata this evening. We will have more information about the Spanish veteran during the match, but for the moment, his contract with the club ended at the end of last season. And so he is currently in Europe, Juan Mata. But that's not to say he might not be back. Watch this space. Well, it's the 5th time Peninsula Power have made it into the round of 32. There is Alan Stajic, who was under a bit of pressure at the start of the campaign, but once they found their mojo, he saw his side scoring goals for fun and forcing their way into the finals. Big night for Josh Brillante as well, the Queenslander from Bundaberg. This evening he plays his 30th Australia Cup game, equaling Isaias, the most for an outfield player in the history of the Australia Cup, and just one behind the all-time leader, Andrew Redmayne, with 31 Australia Cup appearances. It will be the home side looking to get us underway. Our referee is Jack Powers, being assisted by James Sherry and Abdullah Ter. Ziad Armetovic is the 4th official. Nia Joseph, young Scottish striker, came through the ranks at Rangers in Glasgow. And it's his touch that gets this round of 32 Australia Cup match underway. Quarter-finalists in 2022, 4 times they have played A-League opposition in the Australia Cup. There has been lots of heartbreak along the way, including extra time defeats. But Peninsula Power will be hoping against Andy Harper, the Western Sydney Wanderers, who have only just been back in pre-season training a little over 2 weeks and are yet to play a friendly match. If ever there was a time to knock them off, it's perhaps this evening.
Yeah, very good evening to you, Robbie. Great to be back for this Australia Cup competition from the round of 32. Of course, the competition at its very essence started many months ago around the states. Over 700 teams entered through their various member federations. We get to the last 32 on the national stage, and Peninsula Power making their, well, it's a bit of a regular actually, over 11 years. This is their 4th or 5th attempt. And as has been suggested on a couple of occasions already this evening, it's the best time to play an A-League opponent.
Even one in the form of the Western Sydney Wanderers, who do have a quality squad and are building one as well. Having seen the Central Coast Mariners go all the way in the AFC Cup 2 seasons ago, Sydney FC make the semi-finals last year. The A-League clubs know that the ticket you get by winning the Australia Cup into continental competition can be a very financially rewarding one. You can see plenty of Wanderers supporters have made the trip north. There, it's Kovac with the long ball, helped on. And it's Barbarouses who gets it clear, but not far. Peninsula Power in their resplendent royal blue. Down the wing, and the first foul of the evening on that near side. It's Connor McKenzie just dragging back Gabriel Cleur.
A nice transition from the Wanderers under a little bit of heat in their own penalty area. Costa Barbarouses nearly having a pass intercepted, but the charge led out of defence by Woj Kraev, and have set up a nice situation for themselves here. Have Western Sydney.
Alex goes back, and Josh Brillante standing over it. It is the left back with the ball deep to the back post, beyond everyone though. Okay, so Western Sydney with that ball over the top for Alu Kuol. One for him to chase, and it's a good challenge by Josh Phelps. One of the experienced defenders at the back for this side. He knows what it takes to go deep into this competition as well. Went to the semi-finals with the Melbourne Knights. Moment's hesitation between Woolley and Gibbs in the middle of the park. Kovac was looking for the Colombian Makwase, but the ball just beating them over the touchline. Kovac, American, who's born and raised in Las Vegas, just arrived in Queensland a couple of months ago and has already forced his way into the starting 11 of this side. He scored 2 weeks ago against Olympic in a massive MPL clash, and he got a goal in the 7-0 victory over Gold Coast United as well 3 weeks ago. That's a good ball for Kraev to chase. Little back heel for Gersbach. Kraev, who was recalled to the Bulgarian national team in the back end of last season. Here's Panazopoulos. We'll see his position in the side come under a little bit of threat this year with the arrival of Philip Kankar. That's nice football. The early cross, back post. Kuol is arriving. McKenzie couldn't get a touch. And Quoll gets there ahead of Kovac. Gabriel Clerc, Brillante, back for Quoll. Referee says good challenge. Makwase steps on the ball. Good intensity from the Wanderers in these early passages. That's Aidan Hammond.
A very good link between Kraev and Barbarouses as well in that last attack. Really promising early signs. Of course, you shouldn't be surprised. You put one good player next to another good player and invariably they find the wavelength quickly.
And a couple that spent a season together 2 years ago at Wellington Phoenix as well.
That's a point very well made, Robert. Well, certainly the round of 32 is now a different beast for A-League clubs. Perhaps understandably, for the first few incarnations, was an opportunity for clubs to give some younger players a run, but you look at the Wanderers lineup here tonight and that just reflects exactly the message of winning and the importance of winning the Australia Cup if you get the chance. The Mariners 2 years ago winning the AFC Cup, which then morphed into the ACL2 competition last year when Sydney fell foul at the semi-final stage, but conceivably and still licking their wounds that they didn't go all the way because financially it's a real dial turner for A-League clubs and they're not mucking around. The Wanderers have named arguably their strongest available squad because they, like every team, sees the added value now of winning the Australia Cup, apart from the immense prestige.
Well, MacArthur will be representing A-League in the ACL2 competition this coming season. Barbarouses coming deep, looking for the ball. He's won the league at Brisbane Roar. Brought up over 100 goals last season as the flag has stayed down. Great opportunity here. And Bojidar Kraev makes no mistake. Western Sydney's first goal of the season coming in the 8th minute. It was all a little too easy. Peninsula Power won't be happy with the way they were opened up. But a good finish from Kraev in the first goal of the new season for the men in red and black.
Well, power defender Josh Phelps with a quizzical look to the assistant on the near touchline, assuming that this must have been offside. It's a lovely ball from Pantasopoulos, who made his name in the Australia Cup for Oakley Cannons a number of years ago and is now a fixture in the Wanderers' defence. It's a pinpoint ball and brilliantly brought down by Bojidar Kraev. He's been in good nick to open this match and open the new season for the Wanderers. It's a really clever finish.
Jordan Thurtell beaten, and that continues one trend for Peninsula Power, which is that they have conceded goals in each of their Australia Cup matches this season. They've made it this far because they've been scoring plenty. In fact, number 9, Nia Joseph, has 3 hat-tricks in 4 games in the Australia Cup so far, and in the game he didn't score a hat-trick, he got a brace. So 11 goals for him. They do have goals in them. Makwase has plenty of goals as well, last season's top scorer. There is Joseph, takes it early in a first sighting.
A very aggressive instinct, Nia Joseph, and Makwase, you mentioned the Colombian. He is excellent in the penalty area. Really clever poacher of goals, positions himself beautifully. So the Wanderers will need to be careful, and they've breached, obviously, the Peninsula Power defence clinically once. One mightn't be enough because they have got goals in them, the Power. And this ball in now to Nia Joseph, just a turn and instinctive shot. Not troubling the Western Sydney Wanderers goal. Lawrence Thomas comfortable. A little bit of contact, and he's certainly capable of that. And Joseph could be raising the hackles.
Josh Woolley, the number 8, in the middle of the park with that little ball forward. Now Gibbs accelerates well. Good turn of pace. Kane Gibbs still going. 2 goals in the NPL this season against Brisbane Roar and Wynnum Wolves for Kane Gibbs, and that was a promising run out of the middle of the park. Look out though, here come the Wanderers again with Barbarouses. Gabriel Cleur playing the percentages.
Is that what it was? You're kinder than me, Robbie.
Well, it's early in the pre-season,
It is.
that was a long sprint
exactly.
for the
I think you
fullback.
were saying this is what I needed out of this, was the run, not the touch at the end of it.
Barbarouses again. He's been lively. Ball in towards the near post where Aidan Hammond was lurking. He got Western Sydney's first goal of last season. Aidan Hammond in the opening day of the A-League season, the derby. Good challenge again from Hammond, putting the pressure on. Here is Connor McKenzie with the throw. He's playing on that left wing-back role. Panasopoulos, the big up and under. All the way out for a goal kick for Jordan Thurtell. Like many of the players that play in the NPL around the country, does have some A-League experience, even if he never played at the highest level in Australia. 3 years at Perth Glory as a youngster, and man of the match last weekend in the 1-1 draw with Wynnum. McKenzie, that's a great ball. Good switch of play. Reece Gray with the cutback towards Nia Joseph. It's picked off though, and now good challenge. Phelps had to be made as well. Panasopoulos again. As Andy Harper mentioned, knows what it takes to create cup set. He was part of that Oakley side that defeated Sydney FC back in 2022. The year Peninsula Power made the quarterfinals, only to lose 1-0 to Sydney United. Barbarouses, great ball back, right into the danger zone. Cleared away by Michael McGowan.
And the through ball again from Panasopoulos. He really started to develop that part of his game in the A-League men's comp last year, Panasopoulos. Once he'd settled, which didn't take a lot of time, into the back line of the Western Sydney Wanderers, became quite a dominant player. Interesting given his relative inexperience. But his long-range passing really became something as the season was developing, and already tonight he's put on the pass for the goal, and then that for Barbarouses. Maybe a short passing could do with a little bit of work.
Here's Makwase again. Little touch outside for Gibbs. Intercepted. Qual with Hammond. And it was that, in the end, season-ending injury very early on to John Tae-wook, the Korean central defender, who hadn't made the most auspicious of starts to life as a Wanderer. But that opened the door for Panasopoulos. An opportunity most definitely seized by the youngster. Brillante for Qual. It's another good turn, met hard by the former Scottish professional McGowan. Played for the likes of Annan Athletic and Albion Rovers. Actually moved to Australia to play for the Brisbane Strikers, who are one of the 3 Queensland sides to have caused a cup set. Joseph's cross claimed by Lawrence Thomas. this game, opening the round of 32. One of 3, as we heard this evening, but some big matches to come over the next 8 days. Tomorrow, the headline match is South Hobart, one of Tasmania's oldest clubs, and the current league leaders down there, taking on South Melbourne Football Club. Perth Glory next week take on Wellington Phoenix in an all A-League encounter. There's Brisbane derbies, there's Western United against Sydney FC down in Tarneet as well, and Apia Leichhardt against Melbourne City still to come. So plenty of big games. Kraeff does well. Hammond with Kleur, with Brillante, who the club announced had signed a new contract extension this week. Priestman with Gersbach. Brillante again. Brillante again with Kleur. Closed down by Kovac. Goes back with Panazopoulos again. As you've seen, plenty of goals around the grounds already. Nunawading City, the side from the lower divisions of NPL Victoria, already 2 to the good against Darwin Olympic. The foul there on Qual, McGowan and Woolley catching the former Mariner.
Yeah, it was honest attempt to win the ball. Some collateral damage. Free kick correctly adjudged.
Kraeff back with Hammond on the left foot. It's a great shot in the end. A couple of yards wide of the mark.
A sharp bit of play there from Aidan Hammond. We saw plenty of evidence of that last season as well.
Here's Joseph, back with Gibbs. Woolley, the cross towards Nia Joseph, attacking that one and catching the central defender, Alex Bonatig. Aggressive in the shot earlier, Harps, and a little bit aggressive there in that challenge.
Big season coming up for Alex Bonatig. Enormous potential. And will be going head-to-head against his brother this season. Returns Liam from Celtic to join Melbourne City. So already marked that one in the diary. I'm looking forward to those two going head-to-head. But I think, well, it'll be good to get a first-hand check out of Liam Bonatig, but certainly Alex has got a huge future, in my opinion.
Played every single match last season for the Western Sydney Wanderers. Here's Qual again, getting away from McKenzie. Good ball in behind. Barbarouses, spilt by Thurtell and claimed at the second attempt.
He's been busy, Costa, already, hasn't he? Great running behind. Beautiful pass from Elu Qual. Time to perfection, weighted to perfection. 2 weeks in of getting rid of the rust of the off-season has been pretty effective for the Wanderers, evidently. I mean, the Peninsula Power are a well-built team. They're doing well in the State League, Queensland NPL. They're sitting third at the moment. Got the equal best goal difference in the comp, equal best defence in the comp. Defence breached once already this evening, but it's actually more that the Wanderers have been an impressive touch to start this cup campaign.
Moreton City Excelsior leading the way in NPL Queensland, the side that knocked out Perth Glory in the Australia Cup last season. Lions FC are currently second, and Peninsula Power, well, they defeated Lions FC on their way to the round of 32. Joseph skipping away. Gibbs, clever touch back for Makwase. Referee sees nothing wrong in the challenge. Crowd wanting a free kick. Quick feet from Lawrence Thomas. And now Wanderers can settle things again. They're unbeaten in their last 5 matches. Peninsula Power, and the only player to score against them in that 5-game run was Jez Lofthouse, the former Brisbane Roar player with Wynnum Wolves on Saturday. Maya Joseph with his 11th of the season, second in the NPL Queensland scoring charts with the equaliser. Here's Barbarousis again. He's got Qual in support. He's got plenty of numbers in support. Couldn't find the pass though. Intercepted by McGowan. Woolley gets it back from Gibbs. Velado playing in the centre of the park. McKenzie. Velado again, first time ball found Joseph, but his pass couldn't pick out Makwase, and now the Wanderers look to take advantage. Hammond. Gets it back from Gabriel Clerc. Pass in behind. Brillante. The cross is a good one towards Qual. And now Kraev makes no mistake, drilling his second of the evening midway through the first half. And the Wanderers lead by 2.
Well, it's a pretty definitive finish from Boris Kraev. Trouble down their left-hand side for Peninsula Power. They just couldn't block this passing lane. Really, for Gabriel Clerc to get that ball through to Josh Brillante without any trouble at all, it just talks maybe to a little bit of early tiredness, certainly a lack of tactical awareness there, just to allow that in that lane to be so open. Maguire does well to try and head the ball clear, or was it Phelps? They're both carbon copies of each other. It's a good defensive header for all intents and purposes, but the Power midfield had just taken a little bit of a breather, and Boris Kraev smashes it home. Help himself to a brace early.
Now Peninsula Power. Well, if it's going to be a cup set, it's going to be a cup set for the ages. Mind you, Moreton City Excelsior did it last year for a very similar situation.
Against a very different opponent, however, it should be said. Pleasing signs for the Wanderers, whose fans, Robbie, you told me, are gathered at Casula this evening.
That's right, they're at the Crossroads Hotel.
Enjoying what they're seeing here. Very, very strong finish to the season last year. Disappointing semi-final exit. Saved one of their lesser performances for the big day. But generally the trend was a very impressive one, and they've started in that vein here again tonight. Peninsula Power having, as we said, they're a good, strong team. Good goal scoring ability. The Wanderers have come here and mean business big time.
the absence of Juan Mata. The club is yet to make any announcement. Normally when a player contract ends, we do get the thank you Juan or post. We haven't seen that so far as Aidan Hammond turns McKenzie inside out. Phelps again involved between he and Thurtell, and McGowan gets it clear and is then fouled. And the reason why we haven't seen the thank you Juan message so far out of Western Sydney is because I'm reliably informed there is an offer on the table for one more season plus a reconversion off the field with the club for the following season, and that is being reviewed by the player at the moment, so perhaps we will hear something more on Juan, and it's not entirely out of the question, despite plenty of rumours swirling around in the lead up to this match, that Juan Mata could yet be back for another season.
And if I may, Robbie, what is a reconversion?
Into a different role at the club.
A transition.
A transition.
Right. Is there anything about taking a stake in the club? Or was that talk last year about him interested in owning some slice of the A-League or an A-League club? Is that part of this?
There was Barbarouses, who scored a halfway goal last year for Wellington Phoenix. Saw a little opportunity there. There was plenty of talk, including for the Central Coast Mariners, perhaps for Juan Mata to be involved.
Well, my little bit of speculative questioning has probably set a lot of tongues wagging. I don't know anything about what's going on, but it is interesting to hear what you say, that you're still in the market for him for next year, and then further involvement thereafter. I mean, the intellectual property that people like Juan Mata bring football can't be overlooked. I mean, fantastic if some sort of deal can be struck.
By all accounts, his impact off the pitch, even last season with limited minutes, he was a highly appreciated member of the squad as well, which you can easily imagine was the case.
He handled himself with extreme class, and as my limited experience has told me, the higher up the food chain you go, the classier the people are, usually.
Is there higher up the food chain than World Cup winner?
No, it's on.
Here is Phelps. Oh, as that pass lands at the feet of Alu Kuol again. Looked like he was looking for the free kick, didn't get it. That's strong from Panasopoulos.
Well, Phelps did well to recover that situation. He was played out by a bad pass and he recovered nicely. Showed all the hallmarks of the terrier in him. The Thomas College Terrier from Maine in the USA. He is one of the, I'd say, a little ahead of the curve given his age, of Aussies who are embarking on that opportunity of playing football, getting a college degree from America and exploring the world. There's a lot more doing it nowadays.
Well, there's another on the bench as well, Slade Stokes, the number 3, who was a regular at left back till his sending off against the Gold Coast Knights in that scoreless draw 2 weeks ago. He's on the bench this evening, but he went to the Harris Stowe State University of St. Louis. Yeah,
well, before that, I don't want to trump him, but before that, he took the plunge and went to Nebraska. Community College in Nebraska.
This is true. St. Columbians.
That was his high school. St. Columbians in Caboolture. From Caboolture to Nebraska, to St. Louis, Missouri, to the Queensland NPL.
Hot, cold, hot.
Brilliant. What a great experience. And he's a secondary educator on the back of all that as well. We'd call that a high school teacher. So
here's Mackenzie. Back on the ball. Peninsula Power. Need to settle things down. Woolley and Velado. Woolley gets it back again, but they're being out-hustled, out-muscled at the moment by the full-time pros, who, even if they are back at the start of pre-season, that's a great ball from Priestman. And looking for his hat-trick. Bojdar Kraev with the left boot that time, unable to beat Thurtell.
well, this is where the three at the back, four across midfield, is sort of biting the Power a little bit. That extra fullback is that they don't have the gap down the left-hand side. From a Wanderers viewpoint, Kraev's been free twice, and good shot on goal, saved well by Thurtell. But they do this lack some physicality and energy in midfield, the Power being overrun.
Priestman gets it back from Barbarousis. Priestman, Qual in the middle, the cutback. Look at the space here. And Costa Barbarousis opens his account for his new club. And with just over half an hour played, the Western Sydney Wanderers are almost off into the distance.
Well, just as we mentioned, the lack of industry in relative terms in the Peninsula Power midfield, Oscar Priestman with a pretty routine give the ball and run, completely untracked from the Wanderers midfield, in behind the Power defence, turning Phelps around. And the midfield then doesn't recover again, and the cutback is clear to Costa Barbarousis, who has so much time to place the ball inside the near post and put daylight between the Wanderers and the Power, who've short-circuited here.
Costa Barbarousis, who got 10 goals last season for the Wellington Phoenix, 13 the season before that. Turning back the clock with his goal-scoring form after a lean final season at Sydney FC. Gabriel Cleur. In fact, it's Aidan Hammond. He is back to his feet. McQuasse into Gibbs. Here's McGowan.
It's a pity, in one sense, for the Power that we haven't been able to see Jordan Thurtell in goal at his very best. Had no chance with the goals that have been scored. Maybe that third from Barbarousis. Don't know quite what view he had of that, but youngster with pedigree as he was coming through, played for the Joeys and the national under-20s. Teammates of Stefan Mork and Brandon Borello, Ben Garuccio, are we on the bill?
There's Joseph, and that wasn't far away. The left foot curl up, another siding for him.
He's been lively, the Scotsman.
Kane Gibbs, the number 7, is another who joined Brisbane Roar at 14, represented the Joeys briefly as well. Just 21 years of age now. Well, we've had Kraev in the goals. Barbarousis has got his first for Western Sydney. Alu Qual will be wanting to hit the ground running as well. There's also Stephen Ugarkovic and Philip Kankar on the bench. Two other of the new signings. Marcus Eunice is back from his loan spell at Feyenoord in the Netherlands as well. So we'll no doubt see if it remains comfortable like this. Plenty of changes from Western Sydney as well. You don't want to pick up unnecessary injuries in your very first outing of the campaign. Here's Brillante. with Priestman. Again, able to turn in the middle of the park. Closed down by Reese Gray, but not quickly enough. Kraev with Brillante. Bonatig with Pandazopoulos. 10 minutes to go in the first half. All the way back to Pandazopoulos again. One over the top for Hammond to chase. Gray. Back with Phelps. Third tell. Under pressure from Barbarouses. Clears long. Only found Gersbach. Hammond. Little 1-2. Good football again from the Wanderers. Gersbach. Still going. Now the cutback towards Barbarouses. Will it fall? For another Wanderer. A little foul there by Priestman on Gibbs. And a chance for Power to clear their lines.
But again, really lacks from the Power, just tracking runners and that extra energy. Gersbach just getting in behind the Peninsula Power defence without any trouble at all. Quite a content man, Alan Stajic, at the moment.
Well, we heard from the boys on the panel before kick-off. They thought the opening 20 minutes were going to be the key, and unfortunately Peninsula Power were unable to resist in those opening 20 minutes. It's so often the case for an NPL side. You have to try and frustrate a higher ranked opponent. Kovac taking on Kleur, going down, goes down under the challenge from Panazopoulos. The defender says there was nothing in it. Kovac thinks there was. Importantly, it's the referee who decides, and he was very firmly on Panazopoulos' side. Speaking of youth internationals, Jason Makwase, even if it's going back a little while now, was also an under-16 and under-17 Colombian international. Played continental football against the Brazil of Neymar at youth level. He's got over 100 goals in the Queensland NPL as well. As here's Barbarouses with time to pick his spot. And that's a bad miss from the Kiwi international.
Maybe too much time. Nice combination again from the Wanderers. Costa's had a really productive first half as a Western Sydney Wanderer, newly minted. Looking forward, speaking of matchups, and he takes the field against Sydney this year. One of his former clubs. The Melbourne Victory fans always used to give him a bit of a razz when he returned from a different team. That one will be just another reason to watch the Sydney Derby.
Gray with the air swing. Goes back with Kraev. Bonatig. That was better pressure. They've forced the Wanderers back. They have to keep going though. The Wanderers withstood and can now play their way out. You could hear Gabriel Kleur wanted the ball from Aidan Hammond. It didn't come, but they might yet get it now. Barbarouses. Here's cross for Quoll, the header. It's Somehow Gabriel Clerc was sneaking back around at the far post, but from an offside position.
That's excellent from the Wanderers, though. Really good composure. In the face of a power team that tried to put them under pressure and squeeze them into their own half, but they passed their way through it really well. Really good touch. A flawless first half, really, you have to say, from Western Sydney.
And Stajic said to Josh on the sidelines pre-match that was again Maya Joseph. That's his third sighting at goal. He's tested Lawrence Thomas twice and almost scored with the third. He is their most dangerous route to goal, their top scorer, with 11 goals in both MPL and 11 in the Cup as well so far. But Alan Stajic did say he wanted that chemistry from the end of last season on the pitch, and we can see it doesn't look like a side that's playing their first match back.
Well, Barbarousse has been instrumental in a lot of what they've done, and on that chemistry, to your point earlier, of course, he's reuniting himself with Boj Krajev, so that's one mystery solved there. Alu Kuol, less prominent so far, but he is the new face in the team. He's still his trademark work rate up front. One effort on goal, which is a hard one for him to convert, that header.
When you look at this side, there's Brandon Borello to come back in, the Socceroo. Stephen Ugarkovic as well. They've got a quality player waiting in the wings in each line as well. Makwase with Gibbs. Gray on that far side, back inside now with Woolley. Good switch for Reece Gray. The challenge from Gersbach. It'll be an attacking throw for Peninsula Power, who'd love a little bit of joy just before the half-time break with 2.5 minutes left to play. McGowan deciding, the skipper, to take matters into his own hands, but again the flag is up for offside against Reece Gray, and that's frustrating.
It is. That would have been a rare sight for them from that part of the ground.
Well, 3 goals here away from home. From the Western Sydney Wanderers, there could be more. Hammond, he's won the ball back. Great defensive effort from Phelps to deny Barbarousse his second. Desperate challenge. And if Power can stay in this contest, Stephen, they may look to that moment, because 4-0 before half-time may already be just about finished, but it would be definitively over at that stage. And the referee comes across to check with Mackenzie. Was he asking if there was a foul there by Aidan Hammond? So the Northern Territory's hopes of a first cup set and a first appearance in the last 16 already looks rather compromised before the break. Free kick for the Western Sydney Wanderers. They thought about taking it quickly. Relante to take this free kick. We'll have 2 minutes of stoppage time, which has begun. Gersbach is there as well. Thurtell with the punch. Makwase. Gabriel Clerc wins it straight back again. The cross in. Thurtell under pressure as Bonatig went tumbling to the ground inside the box. Velado. McGowan. McKenzie. Kovac. Oh, again, he's just lost his bearings, Ethan Kovac. And the foul on Kraev. Goes back. Barbarouses continues to come deep, looking for the ball. We're in the last minute of this first half. Over the top for Kraev, who continued his run. And a huge roar for the first offside flag.
Biggest cheer of the night.
Well, you take what you can get it. 3-0 down in the first half. Velado, he turns it over now. Kraev. Good ball for Barbarouses. Touch a little heavy though. Woolley with the challenge. Velado. Makwase. Foul by Panazopoulos. Taken quickly. Kovac. He's made a big impact at NPL level since arriving, but he's struggled so far against the Wanderers and Gabriel Clerc. Here he is again. Gibbs. No time for one final attack for Peninsula Power, who were largely outplayed in the first 45 minutes here at AJ Kelly Park. A disappointing first half in the round of 32 for the Queensland NPL side. It's the Western Sydney Wanderers, courtesy of a Bojidar Kraev brace, and then Costa Barbarouses with his first goal in red and black, that has the A-League side sitting pretty at the break. It's the Wanderers leading the Power by 3-0.
What are you doing?
We're planking.
It's because of our internet providers.
We're stuck in 2011.
Same slow internet speeds.
And high prices.
It's like a nightmare.
Enough planking. Superloop is a network purpose-built for the super-fast future of the internet. You are free.
Don't take it lying down, Australia. Refresh your internet.
You are free.
Well, the Peninsula Power fans, they've turned out in force, and sadly they haven't had a lot to cheer about on field, but the club itself may have a drama that develops over the coming days. Now, if I take you just along here on the sideline, you see that this is where the sideline was before tonight. This is where it is tonight. Now, the field's been brought in a little bit. When Alan Stacic arrived here with his Western Sydney Wanderers, he noticed that, and he got his assistant coach to come out and do a measurement, and he noticed that, in fact, it is skinnier than it's supposed to be. They've lodged a complaint with the referees. Now, I went and spoke to the referees about this. They confirmed to me that on the far side of the field, it's about 1.5 metres further in than it should be. On this side, it's nearly 2 metres further in. Now, why would that happen? Well, the accusation that's been put forward is that Peninsula Power were hoping to tighten the game up and remove Western Sydney Wanderers' ability to at least have attacking prowess and have space as they go forward. Is it going to be an issue for them? Well, we will have to wait and see, but certainly a complaint has been lodged, and that is something we'll have to keep an eye on in the coming days, guys.
Welcome back to AJ Kelly Park in Redcliffe, Queensland. You can see a couple of changes in both camps, with Western Sydney leading Peninsula Power by 3-0. Aidan Simmons has come on for Gabriel Cleur at right back for the A-League side, and Jared Carluccio has replaced Alu Kuol at the break as well. He came in as usual. He puts his body about Alu Kuol for a couple of knocks in that first half, so perhaps that's a reason for him coming off as Barbarouses goes looking. Oh, it's spilt by Thurtell under pressure from Carluccio. And one change for the home side, Andy Harper as well, Peninsula Power, with Solomon Veldemariam coming on to replace Josh Woolley in the middle of the park. Can we see any way back into this contest for Peninsula Power? Not if the second half resembles the first.
No, they were way too good, Western Sydney. Disappointing were the Power as well. But a half-time talk can do the world of good. They get a goal reasonably early, will infect the mindset positively. And we'll see. Certainly with Joseph, there's enough danger there for the Wanderers to need to maintain some sort of focus.
Here come Power, their first attack of this second half with Gibbs. Only almost wrong-footed Mackenzie overlapping down the left, and now there's trouble. The high turnover with Kraev. Barbarouses in the middle. Getting away for Veldemariam. And now Gersbach. Flicks it out the side. Barbarouses. Is he going to find another? Well, queuing up in the middle. In the end, enough scrambling defence just did the business. Priestman and Gersbach between them, managing to turn the ball over, and then Joseph never seemed to be able to get a bearing on the ball there.
I don't think he was helped by the taker of the throw in, Raf Falato, who threw it straight at his blind side. Energetic resumption for Peninsula Power, as it needs to be, of course, if they hold out any hope. Not as though they can ease their way back into the second half. They have to make a statement early.
We did hear from Josh McLean on the sidelines that the pitch has been narrowed by the home side. You could just see there the halfway line disappearing into a little bit of green paint where Aidan Simmons is taking that throw. But we have heard from the match commissioner that it is all above board, that regulations have been respected. There is a minimum and a maximum width, just as there is a minimum and a maximum length for a football pitch, and clubs are entitled to make the pitch the size they want. And if it is a way to play on a smaller pitch, make it more difficult for a higher quality opponent, well, clubs can do that. That's what Peninsula Power have tried to do. You can see there again the line down the left-hand side of the technical area, which is basically where the touchline used to be. And maybe will be again after this midweek contest. Makwase, that's a nice turn. He does have quick feet, the Colombian. Wants it back from Veldemariam, but he looks to Gibbs. And now Mackenzie. Again, at this level, all those little technical moments of taking too long to control, just giving your opponents too long to close you down. Thurtell, great first touch from Gray, and Makwase decides And it's his turn to shoot on sight. Priestman accelerates down the right with Simmons. Made just 4 A-League appearances last season. Aidan Simmons, having the season before won that right back spot off Gabriel Kleur. It was the return of Kleur last season under Alan Stajic. Phelps.
And then the emergence of Shikluna before he blew his knee up.
Match against Adelaide.
Hoping his recovery is going well, because the team is better with him in the sort of shape he was last year. Dylan Shikluna was looking terrific.
It was just after Christmas Day, I think, when he did his ACL. So we're coming up to 7 months into his recovery.
Well, let's hope it's at the Alessandro Cercati end of the recovery spectrum, i.e. quick.
Above all, a young player like that must take the time that it takes. He's got a very promising career ahead of him. Here's Gersbach on the charge. Kraev back, but that time just overhit.
First mistouch from Bosch Kraev. Alice Gersbach, huge campaign looming for him, of course. Return to the A-League atmosphere late last season. Now we'll get a full pre-season under his belt, really acclimatised to the speed of things, and you would imagine will be declaring his intent to get back into the national team calculations. World Cup coming up at the end of the next A-League season, of course. And there's plenty of A-League players, and Tony Popovich has shown that you play in the A-League, you play well, no problem.
Carluccio with Kraev again. That's a great turn back for Carluccio, and selflessly went looking for Costa Barbarouses instead of perhaps looking for a goal himself. 1-1 forward for Nia Joseph, dragged down by Panazopoulos.
Yeah, great chance for Jared Carluccio there, really passed off the responsibility. Seem to have dealt with the early flurry from Peninsula Power, who were in better nick the second half than they were in the first, it should be said.
There's Kovac. Referee sees nothing untoward with that challenge as well. Here's Carluccio. Spent little time on loan at Perth Glory. First season of which was under Alan Stajic from Western Sydney, has since made his way back. Here he is on the ball with Gersbach. His cross, good ball, back post, just beyond Barbarouses. All the way out for a throw on that far side. We've already had another goal in Darwin as well, and unfortunately for the home side, that was another for Nunawading City. 7 to the good now, so that record is under threat. also had a goal to Avondale in the other match as well, so they lead Stirling Macedonia, the Western Australian outfit, by a goal to nil. So goals around the ground in the Australia Cup, Australia's largest national sporting competition. Over 700 clubs from all over the country taking part. Carluccio turning. Hammond, good football again, and still they're finding plenty of space. Carluccio had Kraev at the back post, couldn't find him. Thurtell with the good grab from the keeper. Reece Gray getting the ball all the way across to Kane Gibbs. Velado just sitting at the base of midfield, one over the top for Kovac. Minutes into the second half, Western Sydney Wanderers with Panasopoulos, another one of those long balls again, looking for Kraev, who this time was deemed to be fouling Phelps. He's been making those runs all night. Nia Joseph on the one time he didn't run into the channel. The ball came. Simmons now. Simmons again. All the way back. Aidan Hammond not happy with the options he feels he didn't have when he received the ball moments earlier. He's made space for Priestman now, though. Now he goes, Hammond. Has that hit an arm? It has. Referee points to the spot. Penalty for Western Sydney, and Aidan Hammond has come running across to take this, and now there's a little bit of a... and Božidar Kraev has just said, I'm on a hat-trick, man.
Yeah. I'll take that. It was a clear handball, unfortunately, for Connor McKenzie, who's desperate blood, try and block the cross. This is not the case that his arm goes up to try and goalkeeper-like stop the progress of the ball. This is just biomechanics. But the ball hits the arm. The arm is outstretched. In the game's lexicon, it's not a natural position. And so the penalty's awarded. Correctly so. Bož Kraev steps up, intent on completing his hat-trick.
The Bulgarian is a great save. Denied by Thurtell. Brilliant stop, low to his left. And a corner to follow. Well, there is some joy for Peninsula Power. Goes back though. Hoping that joy will be short. Simmons. Oof. Carluccio. And will be feeling more justified in his protest to take the penalty as well. Božidar Kraev has doubled his Australia Cup goal tally this evening with his 2. Scored on his debut for Wellington Phoenix against the Tasmanian side, Devonport City, back in 2022. He's had to wait until today to get back on the score sheet in this competition. Oh, that's a good challenge, important one from Priestman. Hayden Simmons. Hammond. Two fullbacks combining down the right-hand side with Gersbach. Hammond still. McKenzie with a good challenge this time, but it's been given as a corner for Western Sydney.
Well, he's held his ground well there, Connor McKenzie. Those moments come up and you think the last time I was in this situation, the penalty was awarded, so he was needing to be careful there. It can play tricks with your mind, but he was very focused.
Gersbach. Good delivery. Off the post. Ball bouncing around off the post a second time from Kraev. It was Jared Carluccio, I think, with the initial header. Well played again, Thurtell. Relante. Will it be another in-swinger like Gersbach from the other side? It is. It's a good ball too towards Carluccio. Kwasi's header. Simmons gets it back. Hammond. Well, he balked his own player out of the pass there. They were looking to take evasive action. That's a great pass. Panazopoulos, early ball near post, beats everyone. In the end, the flag up for offside.
Well, here's, that was Carluccio. Thurtell doing his job. Great save from Thurtell, needed the post as well. Math's probably gone over the line actually. But no VAR, much less goal line technology in the Australia Cup, and a little break in favour of Peninsula Power. From what we saw there, that was looked like the ball might have snuck over the line.
And a chance for Kai Flemington to get onto the pitch as he replaces Jason Makwase. Messina is on for Kovac. And we've got a couple of changes for Western Sydney as well. The return of Stephen Ugarkovic in the middle of the park, and Marcus Yunus as well, back from that loan in the Netherlands with Feyenoord, takes the place of Costa Barbarouses. Now, Joseph. Fourth shot of the evening for him, lacking the power to really test Lawrence Thomas.
And he really only ever thinks about one thing, and that's scoring. And you've got to appreciate the appetite. And he's had the ball, I think it's 4 possessions now, probably 5, around the Wanderers penalty area. He's shot at goal every time.
And most of them have been ending up in the back of the net in the Australia Cup run. Let's see the Power make it this far. Carluccio, nice touch for Kraev. He looks up for Marcus Yunus. Big season for the youngster.
Well, Phelps does very well, and it's not been a great night for Peninsula Power, but I will say that Phelps stands alone in the Power team. He's stuck to his assignment really well, been very impressive. 32-year-old. Born in Tamworth, New South Wales. I believe spent most of his upbringing on the sunny coast.
And of course, South Georgia
Tormenta.
Tormenta.
USL. Played a lot of rugby at school as well. You can understand when you see the frame of him. Siena Catholic College at the delightfully named Sippy Downs in the Buderim region. That's Nick Meredith territory. So more than one good thing's come out of Buderim.
Foul by Flemington on Carluccio. He's been full of energy, Reece Gray up and down the flank. There's number 18, Reece Messina, one of the youngsters to have come through the ranks. He joined Peninsula Power in the under-10s. Reece Messina, he's not the only one in this situation as well. You can actually go all the way to the coach, Aaron Philp. Been at the club since 2017 as coach. Joined the club in the under-5s and has never left. He's coached over 200 matches and he has been one of the keys of their recent success as well.
That's a really, really good story. It needs to be, I think, more fully told. And it's been a successful time as well, not just a long time. For Coach Aaron Philp, huge commendation to him.
Championship winning side for this club that was only founded in 2000 with the fusion of Margate and Redcliffe City. In its most recent incarnation as Queensland NPL premiers in 2020 and 21. Semi-finalists every year since 2019 as well. Eunice loses out to McGowan. Joseph fouled by Bonatig. Messina wants to get things moving quickly. There you can see the famous markings on the pitch down there and the narrowing of the playing surface for this one. Midway through the second half, no change to the halftime score. Gray back with Phelps. Joseph, touch wide with Gibbs. That's a nice turn. Joseph chips the ball in towards Flemington. Messina full of running already since coming on in the middle of the park, trying to lift those energy levels. Malado, number 14, is still there, otherwise Valdemariam and Messina changing up the center of the park. Simmons with Eunice. Accelerates, Eunice gets the cross in, back post. Kraev brings it down, he's still looking for his third. Hammond! Brilliant stop again from Thurtell.
Didn't he do well there, Thurtell? Rather stationary defenders in front of him. Hammond looked to just hook the ball to the left of the keeper, but he anticipated really well. Did Jordan Thurtell.
Player of the match last weekend against the Wynnum Wolves. There's the ball in, and Thurtell with the punch. Ugarkovic beaten in the air by Messina. Veldemariam with Gray, now Phelps. Very coolly done against Panasopoulos. They've won it back though. Has Phelps been able to keep that in play? He has, according to the referee's assistant.
I don't know if Phelps has missed a beat tonight. Actually, he's been excellent. With the power.
Cryer finds Hammond again, and again it's Phelps. Lunging in with a well-timed telescopic challenge. Referee gives the free kick Carluccio's way. He's being manhandled off the pitch. Now we've got a Peninsula Power player down. In the box it might be Connor McKenzie over there who's down. It is the left back. Well, they only played 3 days ago on Saturday. Doesn't look like it's cramped, so it might be something a little more serious for Connor McKenzie. We'll chat to Aidan Hammond there. Mohamed Alte watching on there, sitting alongside Costa Barbarouses, who got a goal this evening. It does look like the changes are coming now for Peninsula Power. Maybe not in time for this free kick to be taken. Goes back. Those changes will come now. So Anshu Ali, the number 15. And Slade Stokes wearing the number 3. He's come on to replace McKenzie, and it will be Ali for Velado in the middle of the park. Has enjoyed a real breakthrough season for the Power this year. Started in the under-23s at the start of the season and is now a regular with the first team. Hammond. No way through. Messina. Can't find Flemington. Hasn't had much of a sighting at goal so far, Kai Flemington. 3 goals this season in the NPL.
Yeah, step up to NPL level for him this year. Was the Golden Boot winner. The league below for Eastern Suburbs. He does know where the goals are. But he's got clearly a couple of good strikers in front of him in the pecking order, arguably, but he is making a nuisance of himself. Steve Ugarkovic is there to shepherd the ball out for the goal kick. He's a young player, very boisterous. Centre forward is Flemington.
Just over 15 minutes left, plus stoppage time. been a near perfect evening so far for Alen Stajic and the Western Sydney Wanderers, who went ahead early through a Bojidar Kraev brace.
It should have become a hat-trick. That's the only blemish so far from a Wanderers viewpoint to this stage.
A fantastic penalty save by Jordan Thurtell. In the 59th minute, Thurtell's made another couple of good saves. Perhaps Kraev should have had his hat-trick anyway, moments later from that shot, which certainly appeared to have crossed the line. And Thurtell made the save after Carluccio's header had come back off the post. Stajic has managed to give his...
That's expert from Phelps.
Just.
Oh, how clever. He probably gave himself up a little bit, but stayed in the game and ends up winning the goal kick. He really has been very impressive in a team that's been clearly second best here tonight, with a couple of moments here and there, but really the Wanderers have had their way, and Josh Phelps has stood alone, really, as a power player, I think, tonight. Nia Joseph has shown his appetite to score goals, but it's been Phelps who's looked the most accomplished in blue tonight.
Now, Nia Joseph had a coming together there with Alex Gersbach. Back to his feet. Not sure what happened there. Slade Stokes is into the contest now as Gersbach's been asked to leave the field of play there. Is that just to get a bit of looking at from the doctor? He's back on now. Messina does well under pressure from Yunus. Gray, who's switched flanks after the introduction of Stokes. Here's Nia Joseph. Blocked. Messina, the follow-up. That wasn't far away.
Decent effort. In what's left of the game here tonight, it would be terrific to see one of the Peninsula Power lifers get the goal, and Messina squared up nicely then.
See who's been the busier of the two keepers. Those 4 shots on target. One from Makwase, 3 others from Nia Joseph. Hammond with Carluccio. You can see what he was trying to do there. Phelps again. Gibbs draws the foul off Jared Carluccio. The referee is going to head into the book for the first yellow card of the evening for Jared Carluccio. Just got caught the wrong side of Kane Gibbs and couldn't get the right side of him. Just wouldn't sit for Reece Gray as Thurtell. Very coolly done with McGowan.
Second header for the night. You don't often see goalkeepers head the ball at all, for obvious reasons. You've seen one head it twice in a game? It's already stretching my memory.
Yeah. Not the Australia Cup, round of 32. Messina. Gray's ball towards Joseph, wrestling with Bonatig. In the middle, Hammond's going to get the throw. She will leave for Aidan Simmons. Had a good game, Aidan Hammond, as well. Stephen Ugarkovic, a reigning A-League champion with Melbourne City, returning to Western Sydney. And Mohamed Alte will come on, so there will be no hat-trick for Bojdar Kraev. He makes way with just under 9 minutes left. Mo Alte enters the fray. He just rejoined Western Sydney in January from the Wellington Phoenix, made 8 appearances. Never really managed to impose himself at Phoenix. Great with Gibbs. Ali with Phelps. He looks up towards Messina. And does well again. One for Eunice to chase. Strong into that challenge with McGowan. That was a heavy impact. Both very quickly back to their feet. Problem for Lawrence Thomas. Goalkeeping ranks largely unchanged for Western Sydney Wanderers. Their top 3 choice goalkeepers all still there. Lawrence Thomas, Jordan Holmes is on the bench, and Tristan Vidakovic is there as well. Tiger Harper has left the club during the off-season. Just the one appearance last year, and that circumstance of injuries and suspensions all came together to give the youngster his A-League debut.
Well, Lawrence Thomas had that ankle problem at the start of the year, which kept him out for a while. Didn't help with Alan Stage's entry to the club, and you referred to it earlier, Robbie, the tumult around the Wanderers and their early season troubles, but they rode that storm out so well. The Vultures were certainly circling, but he stayed true. Stajic and the players with him. They're getting Lawrence Thomas back, a player of his stature, a person of his stature. It was very much a stabilising influence, as he has been for Peninsula Power tonight.
He was injured when he was away on Socceroos duty, wasn't he, at the end of the season before, I think, Lawrence Thomas. Here's Ugarkovic with Alte. Priestman still out there. There's an incredible engine. The young Wanderers, number 18, gets through a mountain of work in the middle of the park. Came through the ranks at Sydney FC. Alte back, Panazopoulos. Bonatig with Gersbach. His pass was looking for Carluccio, picked off, wins it back though off Gibbs. Ugarkovic with the foul. Phelps. It was a good ball into Gibbs, who just couldn't control. Flemington with the touchback for Messina. He was looking for Joseph, couldn't find him. Carluccio does well with Ugarkovic. Bonatig again. The space in behind for Priestman. Ugarkovic. Now goes back. On the left, whips it in hard. Messina clears long. Yellow card, Panazopoulos. Now they are claiming that he's the last man. And that Naya Joseph was clean away on goal. Let's have a look. Oh, there's no one else back. I don't know if it would change much.
Well, we
in
were
the ultimate wash-up.
No, we weren't able. No, exactly. I mean, the reaction from the Peninsula power play was interesting, very passionate. We didn't get a great view of the actual foul itself, but even given that, geez, you'd be stiff to get sent off for Doxo 60 metres from goal, wouldn't you?
But I guess, you know, if you're denying a goal-scoring opportunity, if the players clean through away on goal, even if they do start their run in their own half or the foul is in the opposition half. But again, it's another one of those things we don't see too often, like two goalkeeping headers in the game. Phelps again. If anything, he's just growing in stature as the game goes on. Gray. Flemington with Gibbs. Nice football. Gibbs still. Reece Gray. Deflected. Flemington looking to get there. Good punch from Thomas. Gray again. Still. Gray shoots. Trying to bend it. Good effort again, but can't test the Western Sydney Wanderers goal.
Well, he's starting to feel the pinch, Reece Gray, but nice work there. And Peninsula Power saving some of their best for very late.
And perhaps the pre-season calendar is just starting to make its feeling known to the Western Sydney Wanderers as well. Feeling the pinch in the 90th minute. Alte back with Gers back. Priestman. Simmons. Alte again. Dispossessed by Flemington. Still full of running. As you mentioned, Reece Gray up and down. First the right flank, now the left in this second half. Eunice. Quick feet. Got away from Phelps and Ale. McGowan there as well. Now Carluccio, flag up for offside. Pass just a little late in coming from Yunus.
And just a little ragged for the Wanderers, but I think your point's right, Robbie. 2 weeks of training, approaching full time here. The first competitive match since the team's been put back together, and they've basically looked really, really good. Untroubled. Early goals have helped them. Well taken early goals, but a very good first half from Western Sydney. And might have been a little more clinical in this second half. Squandered a penalty. Had a couple of other really promising attacks that have come to nothing.
Here come the Wanderers again. Hammond with Ugarkovic. Little touch for Yunus. Back to Ugarkovic, dispossessed by Ali. Now Veldemarian with Nia Joseph. 3 forward for Power. Joseph still on that left foot. The shot. In the end, straight at Lawrence Thomas. Well, 2 years ago, they lost in the 119th minute to Wellington Phoenix in the round of 32. Their first ever round of 32 in 2017 was a 1-0 loss to Melbourne City. It hasn't been so close this time to the cup set.
Now, whilst we're talking cup sets, does Nunawading City being the lowest ranked team in the round of 32, beating Darwin Olympic 9-0, does that count as a cup set?
Well, I think we heard in the pre-game show that no matter what the result was, it was going to be a fantastic moment. It turns out it's been a historic moment.
It's certainly that. Certainly that. But if a lower tier team beats a nominally higher tier team, that's by definition a cup set. You do it you do it in a record fashion. It's a double whammy for Nunawading.
Absolutely. Foul goes against Nia Joseph again. Well, the first ever cup set was Adelaide City over the Wanderers. The Wanderers have been on the receiving end a couple of times. That was back in 2014. Oakley Cannons twice got the better of Sydney FC as Yunus is away here. Too quick. Marcus Yunus. Can he pick out a teammate in the middle? He can't. McGowan. Apia Leichhardt was the other team to get the better of the Western Sydney Wanderers. That was in 2021. Phelps. Gersbach getting the yellow. It's Phelps just testing the referee's patience a little bit there with Yunus. The 4 minutes of stoppage time are up. The referee with a look at the watch. Jack Powers brings proceedings to a close.
Peninsula Power.
There is no cup set at the home of the Queensland NPL side. Peninsula Power unable to match it with the A-League's Western Sydney Wanderers. All the damage done in the first half. The Wanderers bursting out of the blocks with a double to the Bulgaria international Božidar Krajev before new signing Costa Barbarouses opened his account in red and black. We also saw Alu Kuol and Steven Ugarkovic, the new signings for the Western Sydney Wanderers, get a run as well. It was a good performance from Alan Stagic's side. And a chance for a couple of old teammates perhaps to catch up. all finished here in Redcliffe. Western Sydney Wanderers 3, Peninsula Power 0.
Congratulations to Western Sydney Wanderers. They now move into the round of 16 of the Hahn Australia Cup.
I was meant to pay $10 and I drove off and I was like, I'm volunteering, so I don't have to pay.
Ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause for both teams. This was round 32 of the 2025 Hahn Australia Cup.
Boshadakraya, 2 goals. You must be pretty pleased with how it all went tonight.
Yeah, to be honest, it's how we planned it, how we expected, and how we wished the things to go. And it was a very good game. I'm very happy with the performance, and I hope we continue like this, and this to be a good building block for the future.
You could have had a hat-trick. What happened with the penalty?
Yeah, that's normally I don't take the penalties, and I had already 2 goals. I took it just to try to reach the hat-trick. Unfortunately, I couldn't get it, but that's it. That's football. Sometimes we miss, sometimes we score, and keep going.
It's so early in pre-season, but you boys look pretty slick tonight. Does that give you plenty of confidence?
Yeah, we looked pretty sharp, we looked pretty connect. Everybody did what needed to do, and we had some very good combinations in attack, in defense. Everybody gave 100 of himself, and very good.
How far can you go in this Australia Cup?
I hope we win it. This is my 4th season. I never won the cup. I hope with this team, I think we win the cup this year.
Well done on your performance tonight. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Right. Costa, first hit out for the Wanderers tonight. How do you feel it all went?
Overall, pretty pleased. I think it got a little bit disjointed at the end there, but I think that's just down to legs at the end of the day. We've only been going, some of us, for a couple of weeks, some 3. So overall, pretty pleased. And you could see a few good combinations there for things to come.
It's a big move across the Tasman. How do you feel everything will go in the new look side this season?
Yeah, look, it was a decision I didn't take lightly, and one that was for football reasons, and I'm really happy so far with my decision. I think, like I said, you can see the promise and the potential in the team, and I think and I know I can fit in well here.
The speed and skill you guys showed in that first half in particular was really high quality. Is that a good sign moving forward?
Yeah, I think the game is so much easier with quality around you, and I know obviously Bojida Krive from our time in Wellington together, and we've just got quality all around the park here. A good mix of experience and youth as well, so like I said, hopefully I can just add to that.
What is there to work on ahead of the round of 16?
I think just combinations. Like you said, there was really good patches in there, some we can still work on. And then just tightening up our press a little bit. Like I said, we haven't had too much time to work for it. We needed to get fit enough to play this game and focus on other things.
All right, congratulations and good luck.
Thanks very much. Cheers, guys. All the best.
Michael, how do you sum up that performance?
Very disappointing. I don't think that we've done ourselves justice tonight. I think fair play to Western Sydney, they were good. I thought, like we talked before the game, you hope that they have an off day, and they definitely didn't. But I feel like we made it easy for them. We would have struggled tonight against teams in our league with that performance. So very disappointed. We've had a big crowd come down tonight, and it's we've let them down, in all honesty.
I know you got caught on the hop a little in the first half, but the performance in the second half was much improved. It was pretty good. Is that something that can give you confidence moving forward?
I mean, look, I think we have to bounce back regardless, but it's easy to be brave when you're 3-0 down. You know, like I think if we were being honest with ourselves, you know, that should be how we start the game. You know, we don't have to wait till we're 3-0 down before everybody wants to get on the ball and everybody wants to keep the ball. You know, it's too late by that point. But I think what we have to do regardless is, you know, we have to park this to one side. We've still got a lot to play for this season. We have to take the lessons from today and make sure that we right those wrongs for the rest of the season.
There were claims for a red card late in the match. What was your take on it? How did you see it?
Honestly, I cannot believe it wasn't a red card, mate. The referee gave me the worst excuse. The referee gave me a good reason. But
what was it? Please tell us.
He didn't think it was a goal-scoring opportunity. Well, we had one a few weeks ago that was the same, and it was a straight red. The guy got his card out straight away. So, sorry, I should probably dial that back a few bit there. But I feel that we're really unlucky. But in all honesty, it probably doesn't change the game at that point. But it's disappointing. I honestly can't. The boy didn't even look for the ball. He just grabbed him from the moment. So, I don't really need to ask him, mate. I don't know.
Jordan Thurtell, we should talk about between the sticks. He saved a great penalty, made a couple of other brilliant saves. It was pretty impressive tonight.
Yeah, I think George is the best goalkeeper in the comp. As far as I'm concerned, he's the best goalkeeper in Queensland. So, you know, we couldn't rely on him to save some of the easy chances we gave them tonight. But he helped keep the scoreline under control there. It was a great save from the penalty, but he's been making saves like that all season. So we're lucky to have him.
All right, thanks for your time.
Yeah, no problem, mate. Thanks a lot. Cheers. Don't tell the refs.